Well, welcome back. It's time now for us to take your questions about how to deal with your kids and specifically teenagers today. Licensed family therapist Kent Toussaint joins us now. Good morning, Kent.
Thank you.
Thanks
Great to see you
for being
again.
here. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
last time I saw you, I was going to have another child.
I know.
So, yeah, here we are.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
welcome.
much. Let's get to some of our questions.
Okay.
So one of the questions, our son seems depressed. He works a night shift. He sleeps till late afternoon. He stays in his room for most of the day. We've asked him to go to therapy. He seems unreceptive. He recently had an episode with anxiety where he needed medical attention. Should we insist that he attend therapy as a condition to continue living with us?
Well, I'm going to assume that this son is a young adult, 18 years old, 22 years old, something in that realm, because he's working a night shift.
Right.
Didn't say anything about school. So he may be sleeping late in the day because he's got a late shift. I don't know that. But staying in a room all day where it's dark, having anxiety attacks where you need medical attention, this young man needs help. Is kicking him out the answer? I don't know. You know, he needs support. And I would encourage these parents to really make sure they're connecting with him as much as they can. If they think that this young man is a danger to himself, they may need to consider an inpatient treatment facility. And you can hire an interventionist who comes to your house, talks to the family, talks to him, and helps transition him from the house to an inpatient treatment center where he can get the help he needs to find that balance so he can get back into the world and function.
Yeah, maybe using a third party if he's not receptive to their...
It could be. It could be that's necessary, yeah.
Okay, another question here. My son got into a fight at school. He was sticking up for a classmate who was being bullied. How do I encourage him to stick up for people who are picked on without getting into fights?
Yeah. First, I want to acknowledge this boy's bravery.
Right.
You know, if everyone stood up to bullies, we'd have a lot less bullies.
Right.
But we also don't want our kids getting into fights. So it's a little bit of both. I would wonder, you know, did he pick the fight? Is he turning into the bully? Or did he not have a choice? Was he
Right.
standing up for someone and he was
Got stuck
attacked
in the
and
middle.
had to
Yeah.
defend himself? I would talk to him, get a feeling for how he feels about it. Not from a place of shame or punishment, but from a place of support as parents. I would get the school involved. How is the school helping to prevent bullying and violence in school? I mean, they can't do it all the time. There will be fights, of course, sometimes, but the school should be involved in helping limit that as much as possible.
Okay. Next question here. There was a social media threat at my daughter's school, and she's really worried about it. I am actually too. So how should parents deal with our own fears and help our children with their fears? This is so common now.
Yeah,
Gosh.
especially with the events at Stoneman Douglas
Right.
from last month.
Right.
We were talking about it last month. It's a big thing, and more people are talking about it, which is good. We should be talking about this. You know, we should be talking about it in ways where we make changes in our society, in our government, or whatever we need to do. But the more we're talking about it, the more we can come up with solutions. Now, with this child, if you feel your child is in danger in that school, you need to find a different environment for your kid to be in. If you can't do that, you have to find some way to cope with the realities that this is a possibility. It's a slight possibility. It's not the majority of schools that have this happen, luckily, but it does happen. So I think it's important for us as parents that we are dealing with our anxieties. Because
Right.
if we're anxious, we're going to feed that to our
Transfer
kids.
that, yeah.
Exactly. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are staying calm so we can help our kids get more calm. Because if they're more calm, they can focus on arithmetic and vocabulary and all these other things they need to do.
Right.
I mean, as I talk to a lot of my clients at Teen Therapy Center, and some kids are not that concerned, other kids are really concerned. And the more they talk about it, the more it helps them realize this is a scarcity. This is not the usual. And
Right.
if we can approach it from that point, we're not coming from a place of the sky is falling, and we don't want that.
Okay. I think we have time for one more
Okay.
question. What do we do as parents when mom and dad don't agree on how to discipline our teenager? One parent says our child's behavior is normal. The other says our child should be better than normal. This is probably a question you hear a lot of.
I
Ken.
do. So what can happen if the parents don't get this figured out? There becomes a tug of war, and the teenager or the child is the rope, and the parents are pulling, and the kid's the one who suffers. Because what happens is the more lenient one parent is, the more strict another parent becomes, and they get more polarized, and it creates more conflict than is necessary. So what's important is the parents work together to find that compromise. This may not be perfect, but find that middle ground where they can agree to, so they can shepherd their child together in unison.
And figure that out together before going to the child.
Right. And another thing is when we say, I want my child to be better than normal, we all want that. But we also want to recognize our children are humans and are flawed people just like the rest of us, and they need to make mistakes to learn. That's where good judgment comes from, is poor choices.
Good advice,
Yeah.
as always. Thank you, Ken.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate your time this morning.